Hello. Uh, Festive hat. Little party. Episode 25. Yay! So, little bit of a different screen layout, left and right. See if this all works and comes together. We have had some beta tests here last Friday in the super elite old farts chat room that we're in, and it all seemed to work. So, yay! Good. As the announcement should have told you, today we are gonna leave the 64 for what it is for, because we've done it in the last few weeks. Today we are going back to Amiga stuff, and Amiga stuff obviously means our friend Mr. Display is back. Let's wake him up for a second. Here's Mr. Display, and he's happy. He's back, connected to the Amiga 500, and it is, of course, booted up. Here we are. Oh, it's Amiga 500, 1.3 kickstart, half a megabyte of chip and half a megabyte of fast RAM. What we will do today? Dentros. What's a Dentro? Well, a few weeks ago we did Commodore 64 one-filer, so one-file demo. So it's not an intro with one screen and one effect. It's multiple things into one file. That's more or less what a Dentro is on Amiga. Opinions differ and not all stuff will fit the message, but still we have more or less 1 hour of Amiga one-file demos ready for you, and then something at the end that doesn't fit in but will fit in anyway. And that's it. Yeah. Some of the entries, by the way, they will have some flicker from the resolution change. Our scalers need some time to readjust, so if you see some message like blue screen, DSC 301, no input signal, that means the demo changed resolution and it needs to catch up a bit. Anyway, that's it. Let's just go with the first one, shall we? Because we'll be here for a while again. It's Sunday evening. It's a bit past 8 p.m. It's getting colder. You're getting hoodies and pullovers on. No. T-shirt weather is gone. So, yeah, let's do this and get the first disc into our Amiga here. Which is, oh, by the way, it's a BBS Dentro from Animators. And most of our releases are from the early 90s, 91, 92. Some are later, some are a lot later. We'll mention it when we get there. Let's get started with Animators and actually switch on the sound as well and take it from there. Do we have Mr. Screen for loading? Yes, we have Mr. Screen for loading. Look at him go. 30 seconds of loading and degrunge. I have talked over most of it. So, there we go. Yes, let's switch off Mr. Screen. I hope you got that address because I'm now blocking it. So yeah, let's get started. Some things to get going, get settled in, get a drink, get a beer. I know, get an extra beer because it's just been announced that Revision will also be online this year for obvious reasons. And still, we're gonna make the absolute effing best of it. Also, last weekend, well, this morning and yesterday morning for us was Syntax Demo Party from Australia. Fucking hell, cool compos, cool things, lovely things over there. Especially the old school stuff. We're gonna do a recap on that in the next few, well, not days because we're doing this weekly, and take it from there. Some good stuff. I also had some graphics coming by. Totally awesome. I have to watch out for this intro because my notes say it. Yes, there we go. It crashes on exit. So it has exited. This was Animators with the BBS Dentro. Lots of things are called Dentro today. It's what happens when you look in the database for Dentros. You get stuff called Dentro. So yeah, there we go. BASF is up next. A production also called Dentro. And if you look at the coder H2O, yes, that's the same H2O who now runs a restaurant with very, very nice food. And he was very nice to send something to me a few weeks ago, which we enjoyed very much. And it's on our bucket list. So it's Maulhelden, somewhere in Germany. Look it up. Go there. We still have to. So take it from there. We take it a lot from there these days. It's like a stop word. Anyway, let's change the disk and get the second one in. The Dentro by BASF. Not sure if it is the Bayerische Soda Fabrik or the Bavarian Soda Factory. We'll see how this goes. Well, it has to load. Is it loading? Let's go, Mr. Display. Are we loading? Oh, we are done loading, so therefore we must be crunching. There we go. it does not always have to be loud techno music. That's for later in the episode when we get to the techno part. Yes, little tiny intro by BASF. It's the only release from this group that I found. Actually, I came by it, and it's like little cool and cozy, and you know, if this was a cozy corner, I would be Ziphoid. People have said I look like Ziphoid, and Ziphoid looks like me. Sadly, my Swedish is not so good, and I don't have the radio voice. So anyway, also we're closer to France, which is where we're going now. It's released at, I think, at a French party. This next one is from Delight. It's at the FRX Dentro will be up next, while we well, just exit this one and load up. Oh, and right at the end, Dentro restarts. We have seen all the text. Nice little production there. So Delight is next, from July 1991. The previous one was from 1993, by the way. So keeping track on where we are in the timeline. And well, we are we are even decrunching. Enjoyed the decrunch. I hope the encoder does as well. This is a Delight with the FRX Dentro. Yeah, a few objects, and there it restarts again, all in French. Salut les copains! Hello, my friends. That's what it says in French. Anyway, small little thingy. We got one more next, and then, you know, also it's gonna be early 90s Amiga time. That's big vector time, and more faster than the other, but more colorful than the other, etc. We will get to there, because we have some stuff set up. We were in 91, we're going to assembly, 95 now, by the way, in a release called Dentro number 2 by Domination, which is I assume a Finnish group, because it's assembly. And yes, assembly needs old school and Amiga releases, because it's assembly, and assembly just needs those. Take note, make your demos for assembly in summer on Amiga, and other platforms as well, but certainly and mostly on Amiga because it's assembly, and it needs Amiga releases because it's assembly. Are we running around in circles? Absolutely, because that's the bloody idea. Okay, so 25-second load. Ah, there we go. And here are the logos and the Dentro. Lots of rally English in here for what seems to be the last Dentro that Domination made, because, well, people were leaving it. Yep, as said, didn't look where it ended up in the compos. I didn't take any notes here, but it's the greetings part, and in the greetings part we can always intervene and go to the next demo. Next one is back to March 1992, released at the Software of Sweden copy party, demo party, whatever you want to call it. And it's by Dual Crew, their BBS Dentro. Dual Crew was always made very nice productions back in the days, and this one is no different. Really big, colorful glance factors and everything. Little bit of design and, yeah, large factors. Let's get the disc in there. Alright, off you go. Domination, in you go, Dual Crew. And yep, that's it. Loading time should be okay, so I'm just gonna leave it here, and I'm gonna swap over to our loading boy and get this decrunching. There we go. This is Dual Crew with the BBS Dentro. BBC is something else. Well, I like many things here. Like for starters, the green font that they do all the BBS numbers in, etc. is just lovely. And there's it's two-way workings because it's announcing all the dual crew stuff, all the boards, all the swapper addresses, and then when you read the scroller below, it's this poor Norwegian kid saying, "I'm too lonely here," and I've started my own group with some other Norwegians, and was that Offense? I think it was the group was called. I wonder what happened with those guys. No idea. So yeah, this was the BS Dentro by Dual Crew. We've had some French stuff. We're going back to France now with Drifters. The New Year Dentro 91, which was released in early 92 because it wasn't finished in 91. All in black and white except for I think one effect, a plasma effect. Never mind, it's stylish. It's not very Drifters, but then most of the Drifters things that you will remember are from the later 90s, this is early 90s, and it's a different style. It's still a bit cartoony and crazy French and making fun of himself in English, so that's all cool. In the meantime, Dual Crew is looping in the background, which is perfectly fine. Okay, so let's go for the New Year Dentro by Drifters. Am I loading the wrong disc? Yes, I am. There you go. Should put the screen up on a little display here. I need my extension cables for the display, which are somewhere in a random box, and I am beyond arses to search for it. I'll be honest. So, whatever. It works, and we can always look here on Mr. Display what it's doing, and it's still loading everything onto track 59. Had one. And the dequench is going. So this is Drifters with the New Year's Dentro 1991, released early 92. Alright, this is the interactive part. I get to scroll this. For the addresses. So yeah, you know, when the French are starting to show off their underwear, it is time to go to the next demo. And this is it. So this is a little thingy by Drifters. New Year 91, released in 92. And next is a little Dentro from Dytec. Pretty dark, like somebody said. Let's do dark blue graphics on a black background and it'll be fine on whatever screen you will ever look at it. If I look at it on my screen here without any of the hardware, I can't see anything. With all the scalers and the mixers in between, sure, I get some pictures, so I do hope that something comes through to your side. Do we have the last effect here? Yep, more underwear, and I think we've more or less actually looped. So there we go. Dytec with Dentro, obviously. This is from also January, November 92. Big text writer at the end. We'll probably do not go till the end all the way with this. Let's see where we are loading, and then we continue with the Dytec intro. Oh, it's a lemming. Credits, information, greetings about this extremely strangely colored red and blue themed Dentro by Dytec. They've done some really other cool stuff as well. I just found this one. Show something different, because you don't always have to show the big hits, because as everybody knows, what we do here is we show the little things that, you know, I'm happy when I say I have not seen any demo that you have played ever before, and that's mission accomplished. We dig in the crazy archives, so you don't have to. That's maybe a slogan, although like make mega demos great again is still one that we should go for, and we should do another mega demo episode because we can. Also, I haven't forgotten. I'm still gonna watch Odyssey by Alcatraz on this setup, the entire 45-50 minute thing. One of these days, find the mental motivation. Anyway, this was Dytec with the Dentro. LSD is next. Orcsist's Dentro. You may guess what the name of the coder is. Good design, big vectors, ends after 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh yeah, I think this is the one that actually automatically exits back to DOS once the messages have been told and portrayed and thrown into the world over a line of scroll text with big vectors. Not that it is a bad demo or Dentro, far from actually. So yeah, let's go with the LSD and Orcsist's Dentro. Gonna leave it at that. It'll end on its own if we get through it. Anyway, nice big shiny vectors in nice colors, and then yeah, some other screen effects. Very nice thingy by Orcsist of LSD, February 1991. May 1991. We're staying in the region 91, 92, which is like the heydays for all these little OCS things. Once you have like later in 394, all the AGA stuff comes up, and then all this goes away. That's the end of the vectors. Like vectors are a thing in small Amiga productions, and see, it exits nicely once it's done. We're still gonna have to reboot because we have to get a different disk image in. But yeah, you know, you would have this on pack discs and everything, and then have it at exit with the left mouse button is always nice to have. Scoopex. That's up next. Was it the birth of Scoopex Sweden or whatever? It's the first screen, you'll find out. This is the Stunner Dentro. more of the large vector stuff. That's the Dentro team that we are in today, actually. Because of what you have in Amiga intros. Big vectors. Cool. What else? Not much. This is loading. Well, episode number 25 here, by the way. So, celebratory confettis and stuff, but no festivities. And here we go. Yes, indeed. Scoopex Sweden. Have fun. Nerd speak of the 90s, comparing assemblers on Amiga, because that's what you did back then when you were a coder. Nice big vectors, again, very colorful, and I think the LSD and the Scoopex ones, you can put them side by side, they're very comparable. They're made a few months apart, so yeah, that's what you got back then. Think this one has a bit nicer graphics, but that's a personal opinion, and the colorful scroller is also a bit easier to read. Anyway, as said, the Tekkno would come later. I said this earlier on in the episode. The Tekkno is now, and I would like to call this the copyright infringement hit that we're gonna get, although I've already uploaded the demo separately to YouTube for later. They will come online later next week, starting Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in blocks. But yeah, so far so good, no hit. So I am a bit surprised. What we have is, back in the day, we didn't have to download MP3s because they didn't exist. We had our Amiga, and some guy with a sampler would basically remake all the techno hits and all the stuff that would be in the charts. Same for this by Tremors. Tremoren, bevingen. Anyway, Tremors. Not much room for effects because they wanted it to fit on a 0.5 megabyte Amiga setup, and the module is like 350, 400k. And before it starts, it's the Das Boot Tekkno-Dentro, and Das Boot in Western Europe was a thing in 91. The U96, U96 single CD, whatever, was everywhere, and it also hit the Amiga, and it will hit again for the next few minutes. And all in all, this is not that bad of a remix. Actually, you wouldn't know it if it wasn't played on an Amiga. Actually, back in the 90s, many dance and techno tracks would be made on Amigas. You just wouldn't know it. They would have two Amigas side by side, and you would press play at the same time, and you would have 8 tracks instead of 4. And keep it mono, everybody happy. So yeah, this was Tremors with the Das Boot Tekkno-Dentro. Not much of an effects, but the music was nice, and it needs inclusion because this thing was everywhere. And if you ever want to annoy people at the demo party once they're physically possible again, this one, keep it running. People will love to hate you. I do not endorse this message. Anyway, let's go on, shall we? TSB, the Special Brothers, a New Year's Dentro, and this was released at the Iris New Year's conference. It was also in France. Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't really matter all that much, but reboot our Rock Lobster. Half a meg of chip, half a meg of fast, stock CPU, Kickstart 1.3, motherboard, revision 5, so it's the one where the power LED goes on when you switch off the filter. Really annoying. Anyway, it's thank you to the Belgian Amiga Club for this. Meantime, this is running. I should shut up and go away. That's it for the New Year Dentro by the Special Brothers from Luxembourg. I currently know one demo scener in Luxembourg. He's a revision organizer. There must have been more also when I saw Dudelange driving by. I think of cheap gas stations. It's what's on my mind when I see stuff from Luxembourg. Anyway, yes, the Iris party in France. I think I've noted it down to look at the releases there a bit more. Oh, this nice, this quadrascope is nice. And I think we will get back to it. Like lots of little French parties with lots of releases, and if the French do one thing, it's colorful design and it's always a bit different, so it's always interesting to look at. Swedes just make big vectors. French make art. Bonjour la France. Comment ça va? Anyway, speaking of design and questions, Intro, Dentro, Mentro or Demo is next by The Silence, which was released in August 1991. Get that in there. This is the 1 MB version. There is a 512K version which doesn't run. This one does, you know, it works on my machine, a little bit of hardware layout. Today you release things for different graphics cards. In 1991 you release stuff from different memory configurations. Take it from there. Do we have to load? I think we have to load. Where are we? Oh no, we're decrunching. There we go. we have reached the greetings, which means we have reached the point where I can come in and yak. This was a Silence with Intro, Dentro, Mentro demo from August 1991. So yeah, indeed, there was just 1991. Next is a new Dentro by Willow. I don't think it's the same Willow as there was on the C64. Let's just keep you from booting for a while here. Yes, I know it's on the DOS disk, I don't care. It's gonna be okay. It'll live. I hope. So, what are you loading? I told you to set relocate for fuck's sake. There we go. You can be on the hand and wait for the floppy disk to be inserted. There we go. One thing is, if you want to stop a Gotek from booting on an Amiga 500, give it a disk image with a fast file system, cannot boot from it, and it'll just show this. So, hashtag pro tip. So yeah, Willow is next. I don't think it's the Willow on the Commodore 64. Also called a new Dentro. It was like, okay, sure, scroller and one effect, and then when recording stuff earlier today for separate uploads, you have to press the left mouse button, then it continues. Yeah, that's smart. As they say in Boston. Boston. Let's get that in there. Let's go to Willow. I lost my number count here. Silence. Willow, here we are. Yeah, so a new Dentro by Willow. Somewhere from in 1992 was the release of this one. It seems that there have been complaints that the scroller didn't last long enough. Sorry. You can watch all the demos later separately. We upload them to YouTube separately, and they will be online next week somewhere, Wednesday, Thursday. Subscribe on YouTube. URL is there in the corner. chipsandbricks.eu is our main website. Facebook, there's a Twitter, Twitch. If you're looking at it, you know it. If not, check us out on Twitch every Sunday, 8 p.m. And then our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/chipsandbricks. Everything is down there in the corner. If I want to, here as well, and then I can zoom in and out again and do stuff, and I have no idea. Can I get back to the Amiga without things crashing? Yes, I can. Cool. Lovely. Okie dokie. Now, one of the better Dentros coming up here in the show, the Schnizzle, the Whizzle, the Dizzle, from TRSI. It's called the Misery Dentro, released at the Cebit 1992. This is the final version, released a bit later, and we take it from there, because we always take it from there, and when taking it from there means that you take it from there and bring it to here and then to there, somewhere. Anyway, TRSI, the Misery Dentro, the final version, will be loaded now after reset, and dark grey hardware okay, light grey software okay, and then reboot and reload, and we wait because we're emulating a disk drive. Where are we? It's a bit of a bigger file, and it's done. T-Crunch is going, so this is the Misery Dentro by TRSI. Alrighty, coming up here in the scroller as well is the announcement for the 1992 Easter 1992 TRSI Easter Conference in Leuven, Belgium. If you want to revisit that, check our earlier episode number 6 or 7. There's a box that come up here in YouTube, and I'll upload it later so you can also watch it. Yes, Leuven, Belgium. It was a cool demo party. It was 500 meters away from my door. I could sleep at home. And Melon Design released a classic demo there, Human Target, that we should throw that in episode. Let's make an episode, Tekkno demos. Pretty sure it'll fit in there. Yeah. Okay, cool. So this was the Misery Dentro from 92. We're gonna jump ahead 15 years, as we've had the entire old school Amiga OCS revival in the last few years, because people have been rediscovering the platform to make demos on. Have some great demos released in the last few years. We have shown them in different episodes left and right, and some specials, and we'll, much stuff to pick from. Get back to it at the proper time somewhere. But no, this is by Rebels. It's called The Revenge of 1990, and I should just start loading it because it's a pretty large file to load. It's like 45 seconds. Yeah, so it takes a while because big data and stuff. So yeah, this is a bit of a Dentro revival, one file, put everything in it, from 2016 by Rebels. Very fit for the period, but yet has this modern swing to it when it comes to design and colors and everything. Not the longest of productions, but that's not really always a requirement. The effects are nice, the total package is nice, and that makes it a good demo, or in this case, a good Dentro. And I'm gonna go back to Mr. Screen, and well, we are almost at the end of the disc. Here we are. Alrighty. Revenge of 1990 by Rebels, released in 2016. Yes, a good fit. Looking back at all the Dentro stuff, and very, very fitting. Although when you look at the design and the music, this is not 90s. It has a complete lack of techno samples, which is strange, but not. Anyway, up next is the last official demo of the episode. We have things after which don't fit but do, and maybe but not. So before that, we have to say thanks to some people, our friends consolecables.be, who support us with our cables, our power supplies, our gear, our stuff. Demo scene friendly and present at demo parties whenever they're allowed to be organized again, etc. And in the meantime as well, the URLs are below in the corner, but if you need some extra things or your glasses are dirty, you need to clean them, here is where you can stay in touch. The internets, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the YouTubes, the Twitch SSS, etc. Plenty of stuff around to contact us. I think in the meantime, Rebels is still running. It is. So we are going to... Which one is it? This one. Yes, by Virtual Dreams of Fairlight. They made the Dentro, Los Huivos. I cannot pronounce those things. I am not going to. Well, that's the name that the internet says that it has. And yeah, also be prepared for some resolution switcheroos, because they go from high-res interlays to low-res and mid-res and then jump back, and our scaler every now and then is kind of confused. Which happens if the screen turns blue, it'll catch up and the audio should keep running. Unless you're in Finland, then it's one demo behind. So that being said, this is Virtual Dreams of Fairlight with their Dentro, released in February 1993. that's it for this Dentro. Left mouse button to reset, right mouse button to and exit to the CLI, the command line interface, because that's what this was in 1.3. It became the shell in Kickstart 2.0, which is not for this machine, although of course it can be fitted. Just change the ROM chip. That's easy for an OS upgrade, to change your ROM chip. Anyway, the 90s. This was the last one of the things called Dentro and the effective Dentros and like one file Amiga demos. But as I told you, we had one that fits but doesn't. And as some of already have mentioned, it sounds very much like the TRSI Misery Dentro, because they made a second one a year later for Cebit 1993. That's the Misery Dentro 2 from Cebit 1993. It's not a Dentro, it loads from disk, it's a track loader, so technically it's not a Dentro. But, you know, being arrogant bastard and everything, I can decide that it is, and that's just gonna be it. So yeah, March 1993, last demo of the show. Thanks for hanging out. We'll be back after the demo for the usual goodbyes and tralalas. But for now, the TRSI Misery Dentro will be running. Also, bit of resolution tinglings going on, so watch out. Nothing normal, everything is under control. It's just that new technology cannot always cope with old technology. There's the reboot, and it's a track loader, and because the first picture is Huivos interlace, the scaler will now completely yankle out. Here it goes. And here's the picture. Enjoy the demo, we'll be back after it. that's it. The demo will reboot and restart on its own. We've seen it. Let's just move here and switch off the audio in the background so we can talk a bit. So yeah, this was the Misery Dentro number 2. Not a Dentro, but a track mower, track loader. By TRSI from Cebit 1993. And at the meantime also the last demo for the show for today. 90 minutes. Good round number to keep track of. If you have missed some things or you want to rewatch, this will be available on YouTube Tuesday evening. And all the individual demos will be online in the days after. In the meantime, as said, follow us on our usual websites, social media, and whatever you can find us, and other means if you have them. We're not all that hidden. How do I switch this off? Like this. Here we go. Some tweaks left to do in the new configuration with the new screen and also with the new layout of the buttons. Anyway, as a technical detail, I'm gonna say thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Although I am feeling like doing an unscripted episode somewhere later this week because I have the Amiga set up and it's always more fun to do those on Amiga. Anyway, no promises. If you want to, click the follow button on Twitch and you'll get a notification when we go live. And you can just tune in and hang out and whatever. Until then, this was an arrogant bastard. I will see you soon. Well, latest next week or sooner. We'll see. Bye bye. Have a good evening. Stay safe. Stay inside. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. And, I wish I could say see you at revision, but, online things will happen nevertheless. I will see you all later. Bye bye.